What if you could just freeze time? Pick one single day and use it to get a complete snapshot of an entire nation at a pivotal moment. Well, that's exactly what we're going to do. We're zeroing in on December 2nd, 2025, to see a picture of India, where global triumphs, massive challenges, and the deep weight of history all crash together in just 24 hours. So let's kick things off with a question for you. On this exact day in 2025, the world's power dynamics got a major shakeup. One country, after years and years of incredible growth, finally, officially, crossed the line to be recognized as a new major power. Any guesses which nation that might be? You got it. India. On this day, the world officially acknowledged its arrival on the main stage. And that's not just a fancy title. It's a designation that completely reshapes alliances, ambitions, and of course, responsibilities. Right, so this new status, this major power label, it's not just a headline. It's kind of the thread that weaves through everything else that happened on this day. So first, let's break down what this actually means and who says so. So where does this official stamp of approval come from? It comes from the Asia Power Index. This thing is a huge deal. It's published every year by the Lowy Institute over in Australia, and it's basically considered the definitive report card for power and influence in the region, looking at everything from economic strength to military might. And here's why this is such a historic moment. Look at this. For the very first time, India officially cracks into that major power category. It's now sitting at number 3, right behind the world's two undisputed superpowers, the United States and China. I mean, that is a massive shift in global standing. Okay, so you get this new title, but what does that actually look like in the real world, day to day? Let's take a look at how this new power translates into action, because being a major player is all about how you navigate that global stage. You know, a huge part of this new role is this constant balancing act. On one hand, you're building new friendships, but you also have to keep your long-standing partnerships strong. And on this particular day, one of those really key historical relationships was front and center. On December 2nd, things were buzzing with preparations for the arrival of Russian President Vladimir Putin. His visit was just 2 days away for the annual summit, and it was seen as absolutely crucial for injecting some new energy into what they called the special and privileged strategic partnership between the two countries. But India's influence isn't just about these high-stakes summits and strategic handshakes. No, the country was also stepping up and showing its leadership in a totally different, but just as important arena, humanitarian aid. And on this day, that commitment was crystal clear. It was announced that India had sent 73 tons, that's a lot, of life-saving medical supplies and other aid to help out the struggling healthcare system in Afghanistan. It's a really powerful example of what some are calling human-centric diplomacy. Now, while India was busy managing its traditional alliances, a whole new strategic challenge was taking shape, and from a direction you might not expect, the planet's icy far north, and it was being driven by its powerful neighbor, China. Get this, China had just launched its new Arctic Express shipping route. And the difference is just staggering. A trip from Asia to Europe that usually takes over 40 days through the Suez Canal, now it can be done in just 18 days. This is an absolute game changer for global trade. And make no mistake, this isn't just about getting stuff from A to B faster. It's a key part of China's enormous Belt and Road Initiative, essentially creating a new polar Silk Road. For India, this means a brand new strategic maritime route has just opened up, and it's one they're going to have to watch very, very carefully. So with all that going on across the globe, what was the vibe back home? What was the actual pulse of the nation? Let's zoom in now and see what the mood was like inside India on December 2nd. Well, on the economic front, there were some headwinds. The Reserve Bank of India announced that in the last week, the country's foreign exchange reserves, think of it like the nation's savings account for trading with the world, had dropped by over $4.4 billion. That's a key number that markets watch like a hawk. Now, that drop brought the country's total reserves down to just over $688 billion. And look, that's still a ton of money, obviously, but a sudden drop that sharp in 1 week? Yeah, that's enough to get economists talking. But it wasn't all just economic news. The day was also filled with moments of cultural celebration and, of course, national pride. In Goa, a massive 77-foot-tall bronze statue of Lord Rama was unveiled. And in the world of sports, which is a true passion for millions, ICC Chairman Jay Shah was named Indian of the Year for his work in cricket. But through all the noise, the good news, the strategic moves, the celebrations, December 2nd carries with it the heavy, heavy weight of memory. It's a day of solemn remembrance, one dedicated to the victims of an unforgettable national tragedy. The day is officially observed as National Pollution Control Day. But it wasn't just created to raise general awareness. No, this day was born from a very specific, catastrophic event that stands as a permanent, chilling reminder of the cost of industrial failure. This day exists to commemorate the Bhopal gas tragedy of 1984. It was a horrific leak of an incredibly toxic gas, methyl isocyanate, from a chemical plant. It created a disaster on a scale that's just hard to imagine, and it's widely considered India's single worst industrial accident ever. And the human cost? It's just devastating. While the exact numbers have been debated for years, official figures say that over 15,000 people lost their lives, and hundreds of thousands more have suffered from chronic, debilitating illnesses for generations. It's a deep, deep scar on the nation's soul. And that really brings us to our final thought. This snapshot of December 2nd, 2025, it shows us these two sides of a coin, a nation celebrating its powerful new status on the world stage, while at the very same time, remembering its most profound industrial failure at home. And it leaves us with a really powerful question. As a nation's power grows, what is its greatest responsibility? Its global standing or its people at home?